Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you very much for your greatest support. I was asking myself, and I've been asking myself, that in this country of ours, Kenya, can we be in a position whereby you just relax, you just sleep and wake up the following day without any problem, without listening or hearing that, without getting information that these politicians have done this. Every day is a new day, and we wake up with the new things. And in this video, I want us to look at two public figures, two key figures. I want us to look at Farouk Kibet and George Natembeya, because these two guys are fighting, and what they are fighting of, we really don't know. Actually, if somebody tells you that Farouk Kibet and George Natembeya are fighting, you really ask yourself a lot of questions. Number one, you'll ask yourself that Farouk Kibet is not even an elected leader in this country. Why is he fighting Natembeya and a governor? Number two, Farouk Kibet is a Kalenjin. George Natembeya is a lawyer. Why are they fighting? So I think those are the kind of questions that somebody can ask. But anyway, we're going to get the answers at the end of this video. But before we get deeper into this discussion, fellow Kenyans, let me just quickly remind you that if at all we're meeting for the first time, don't forget to click the subscribe button. You can as well like, you can share, you can drop me your comment in the comment section, telling me what you think and where you are watching this video from. If you're within the country, tell me which part of the country you're watching from. And if you're outside the country, you can as well tell me which country you are and how these videos are reaching you. Let us get deeper now into this discussion. There is something that George Natembeya is saying here, which I would love to read, and then we get into this, because this is what is giving us direction of the video. Natembeya is saying that mimi nabishana na wasomi. Do not think that because you are close to president, you can lecture us. I don't fear you. Come and face me. Do not speak from the periphery. It is as simple as that. The governor told a public meeting over the weekend. So this is George Natembeya fighting Farouk Kibet. But then I want us to start by asking ourselves this question. Who is Farouk Kibet? As our first character, who is this man known as Farouk Kibet? Farouk Kibet is Ruto's long-time confidant. And of course, we've seen a lot of things that Farouk Kibet has been doing here and there, shouting, telling women to dance publicly, making funny comments that wamebeba, wakona haga, all those things. And he has been given a nickname that the invisible hand of State House. Of course, whenever you hear or whenever you listen to Farouk Kibet saying something, know that there is somebody behind it. And that person that can be behind that thing or is normally behind that thing is William Ruto.
Rais ambaye amestaafu hawe na heshima na Wakenya. Huwezi kuwa rais ambaye umestaafu unaenda kufanya uchochezi. Sisi pia tunasema shetani afanye namna gani? Yes, nafasi ipatiwe rais wa nchi hii aendeshe Kenya jinsi yeye aliendesha Kenya. Hata ingawacha hatukufurahia uongozi wake, tulivumilia kwa hiyo miaka 10. Lakini yeye hataki hiyo uvumilivu, hataki amani kwa Kenya. Asubuhi uchochezi, saa 10 anaamusha upande hii. Sisi hapa Pokot tunamwambia shetani afanye namna gani? Yes, kwa sababu serikali ambayo inatawaliwa na uchochezi, wa Kenya pikana pande hii, hapana muamushe pande hii. Na wewe unastahafu, na wewe unakula mshahara ya Wakenya.
Several occasions We've had Farouk Kibet. In fact, Farouk Kibet even slapped Kithure Kindiki back then. All those things, all those allegations are in public domain. That Farouk Kibet has done this, Farouk Kibet has done that, all those things. So, you know, the guy has been given so much power by the president up to a point that he feels like, or he thinks that he is an elected leader and he can control everybody the way he wants. So that is how influential politically Farouk Kibet feels or maybe thinks that he is. Number two, of course, we know that George Natembeya is the governor of Trans Nzoia as our second character. George Natembeya is the governor of Trans Nzoia County. He was is a former Rift Valley regional commissioner who is known for being tough and outspoken. That is George Natembeya. Right now, is the governor of Trans Nzoia County. He transitioned from being the commissioner to being the governor, and he was elected back in 2022 when he showed his interest of becoming a political leader. So, in other words, we can say that George Natembeya is known for his outspokenness. Like, he's very tough. He's a tough guy. And he's an outspoken guy. He came out, he launched this movement known as Tawe. The Tawe movement was launched by George Natembeya. And in several occasions, we've seen his rallies, you know, how people love George Natembeya. You know, a lot of people are crying, you know, everything. And the way he fights the older politicians, people like Moses Wetangula, people like Musalia Mudavadi, the way he fights them tells you the kind of guy he is and the stand and his interest. This is what, you know, the way he fights and the way George Natembeya positions himself and his ambitions tells you that this guy is a rising star in Western, and his ambition is not an ambitious person that maybe just wants to end at the governorship level. He wants to go to national level. That is why he started the movement known as the Tawe. And in fact, when you try to look at when I'm sorry, I have a problem with my throat. When you try to look at George Natembeya, the way he portrays himself as a fearless guy, often clashing with national powers like William Ruto, the brokers of power, tells you that this guy is a no-nonsense guy.
We just registered the fact ya kwamba in August 2022 watu wa Trans Nzoia wachagua gavana na wakapatia majukumu. Haya majukumu mimi nafanya bila kuomba mtu yote msamaha. Na wala ambao wanasema kwamba Natembeya anazuia maendeleo kuja Trans Nzoia eti kwa sababu hako na msimamo mkali, hao watu ndio wasome katiba tena. Ni mahali gani maandiko kwamba gavana lazima apigie president makoti yapate maendeleo? Where? Quote the law. Usilete mambo ya porojo, just quote the law. Kwamba kipengele fulani kinasema kwamba Natembeya ukiamuka piga magoti, shukuru president, imba wimbo, alamu endelea kuja Trans Nzoia. It is not there. Devolution was meant to address those nonsense of psychopathy. Lakini kuna watu ambao wanaweka kwa hiyo. Hiyo kitu hatuwezi kubali. Umeelewana watu yangu? Tuko pamoja?
Now, That one said and done. I want us to get now into what is going on, or what really triggered the clash between Farouk Kibet and George Natembeya. George Natembeya has been saying that I don't fear you and all this, Sikuogopi, all those statements. I've just read for you what he told Farouk Kibet. That he told Farouk Kibet that mimi sibishani mimi nabishana na wasomi. In short, he's trying to say that Farouk Kibet, wewe hujasoma bana. Hatuwezi tukabishana na wewe. Wewe naenda ukatafute watu kama Oscar Sudi. Hao ndio watu naweza bishana nao, watu ambao hawajasoma. Mimi nimesoma na bishana na wasomi. He goes ahead and says that do not think that because you are close to the president, you can lecture us. I think I've told you that. But now, let us now look at the layout of what has happened or what is happening. Natembeya is claiming that Western Kenya is sidelined in developments, and in fact is accusing Farouk Kibet and other leaders of misleading the president. Many occasions, you normally hear Natembeya telling the president that chungana na wale ambao wanakuadvise, wanakushauri. Kwa sababu wale ambao unaona kwamba wanakushauri ndio watu ambao wanakupotosha. Leo wanaweza jifanya kwamba wanakushauri, ila hali ukijaribu kuangalia vizuri utakuja kupata kwamba hao watu hawakutaki mema. And this thing has been said over and over again, whereby even Peter Salasya told the president that wewe unichukue ni kuadvise, kwa sababu wale watu ambao wanakuadvise wanakudanganya. Kuna mambo mengi sana ambayo hawakuambii. And of course, I can concur with that as the president, he really needs to look at how he understands, or maybe the people that he listens to, because he's being misled. He has been misled severally, in several occasions, with the people that advises him. You know, and Farouk Kibet is counterattacking Natembeya by saying that Natembeya is politicizing developments, and he goes ahead and say that the Tawe movement is empty rhetorics, accusing Natembeya of sidelining an unloyal community in the region.
Kenya, as the governor remains vocal in his criticism of the Kenya Kwanza administration. Natembeya, a fierce critic of President Ruto, faced backlash from regional leaders aligned with the government. Speaking in Malava on Friday, Kibet reaffirmed the president's commitment to delivering his agenda, dismissing critics. During the forum, leaders also called for the splitting of the constituency in the next boundary review to enhance development in the region.
Ndio ameunganisha wamama
watu hapa sana.
Kuna mama ambaye hawezi kufikiwa.
Tunataka sehemu hii iweze kwenda mbele. Tunajua mlipoteza mjumbe ambaye alikuwa anapenda maendeleo. Ndio maana sisi kama marafiki tunaendelea kusema kwamba tufanye kazi mzuri hapa Malava. Ati Natembeya anasema ati mimi nisitembee Malava. Inawezekana? Sasa
So I have a question to ask before we continue. Farouk Kibet is a Kalenjin. George Natembeya is a lawyer. Where on earth would Farouk Kibet go and start attacking a Luya leader? No, let us just talk. Let us just understand each other here. Why would Farouk Kibet go and start fighting Natembeya? What is he going to gain? And on what grounds? Aye. The real story is, number one, there are around four. Number one is the issue of development politics. In Western, In Western Kenya, the question that we really need to ask ourselves is this. And on development issues, is Western Kenya really neglected? Or this one is just a political talk? Here is the answer. According to me, I think Western Kenya has been sidelined in matters of development. Why? Because the people that are supposed to fight for the developments in Western, Musalia Mudavadi, Moses Wetangula, Francis Atwoli, are not doing enough as far as leadership is concerned. And that is why most of the developments are not happening in Western. And when you try to look at regions like Nyanza, you'll come to realize that they are developing. Why are they developing? Because the leaders, those who are there like leaders, understands that sometimes we can put politics aside and do development. Number two, the issue of regional power struggle. When you talk about the regional power struggle, this is where now we are mentioning Natembeya, where he wants to unseat the old guard. The old guards are the old folks like Wetangula, Musalia Mudavadi. And remember, every now and then, he normally calls them names. Calling them names doesn't mean that he insults or abuses them. He is simply telling them that, boys or boss, my bosses, your time is up. Like literally, if you try to look at the politics that we are doing right now, this one is beyond you. So the best thing to do, you just vacate. Allow us as young rising leaders to do the politics or do this politics as it is. The third one is the control over the narrative. Farouk Kibet doesn't want anyone undermining William Ruto's government, a messaging in political crucial region. Farouk Kibet is there to defend William Ruto, whether bad or good, is there to defend William Ruto. And in fact, that is what he's best at. That is what he's being paid to do. That is why you find that Farouk Kibet walks in every place praising Ruto and insulting leaders who are against William Ruto. And the last one, of course, is the issue of a 2027 election, whereby every move now is about building a base for the next election. Whenever you see the president calling people at State House, William Ruto is trying to build the base for the general election. Whenever you see people like Farouk Kibet, in fact, William Ruto's supporters or allies, anywhere they are, what those guys are trying to do is that they're trying to build the base for the 2027 general election. The words that went viral. There are a lot of statements that were said by Farouk Kibet together with Natembeya. Mara, I don't fear you. Farouk, stop hiding behind President Ruto. Face me directly. And then Farouk Kibet is replying, you are misleading the people. Focus on delivering services instead of Tawe politics. All those things. All those things are there. But then I want us to look at the bigger picture, or what this tells us about Kenyan politics. Of course, all of us understands how Kenyan politics works. But then we also have to understand that in politics, we have got what is called regional grievances. We have got power brokers versus elected leaders, and also shifting alliances. Talking about regional grievances, we find that Western Kenya feels overlooked. Leaders are capitalizing on that. Western Kenya is considered as the second most popular or most populated region in the country. After Central, we have got Western. And that is why a lot of leaders are focusing on Western, especially those who are supporting William Ruto, because after losing Central, so they trust and they believe that they can take Western and put it in their pocket. That is why you find that people like Farouk Kibet hawawezi wakatoka Western liwe liwalo. Another one is the issue of power brokers. Farouk Kibet is a power broker. Majority of these guys are power, unelected. Anybody who is not elected but has power, that is a power broker. Natembeya is elected by people. He's not a power broker. So are you seeing? So this war is between a power broker and an elected leader. And of course, when majority of the power brokers hear them fighting, they will sideline with Farouk. But those who are elected will try to sideline with Natembeya. Not unless maybe you have a beef with him, or you also want that, because I heard Nakumincha saying that Natembeya is a one-term governor that ataenda nyumbani. So I was like, okay, so Nakumincha is also interested in vying for the governorship of Western. Very interesting. Do you think she can win Natembeya? She can withstand Natembeya in Trans Nzoia County? I don't know. Maybe you can tell me that in the comment section. The another one is the issue of shifting alliance. Do you think Natembeya can align with the Azimio? Of course, Azimio is dead. So I don't know. Azimio right now is dead. We have got the DCP. Penye kuna shida kubwa sana, watu wanavurugana. Sijui kwa nini watu wanavurugana, lakini hiyo ni ya siku nyingine. As I conclude, fellow Kenyans, we know very well that there are a lot of tensions in this country, especially in regions like Western, Mount Kenya, Rift Valley. There are a lot of tensions whereby leaders are fighting each other. Reasons best known to them or by them. Maybe because of the power. Everybody wants to be a leader. So lazima wavurugane. But then, I would like to wrap up by saying this, that the fight between Farouk Kibet and George Natembeya is more than just insults. It's a battle for influence. It's a battle for, number one, influence. Number two, identity. And number three, the future of Western Kenya in national politics. Because if at all Natembeya relaxes and fails to defend his people, then tell me who in Western can face William Ruto and correct William Ruto the way Natembeya does. So let me ask you this question. Do you really think that Natembeya is genuinely fighting for development, or is this just about 2027 politics? And is Farouk Kibet defending William Ruto or defending his own turfs? Let me know what you think in the comment section concerning that fueled battle between George Natembeya together with Farouk Kibet. Please let me know what you think in the comment section.